Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Find out from you what your intention is with regard to whether you are going to testify in this case. You have been granted immunity so that the privilege of self-incrimination is no longer relevant because the state can't use anything that you might say in answer to their questions or any other questions against you. And you have been instructed with the benefit of counsel as to the consequences if you don't testify. So I'm asking you now what your intention is.
May I speak?
You can answer my question, please.
I'm telling you to your face. You just said that something about it, they can lock me up for lying. I'm telling you to your face, that's all I do.
Hey family, how's everybody doing? We came on in the building, yes we did. Shout out to Nancy, Valerie, Tina Powers, Woke the God, C6 Banks. How you guys doing? And Nancy LaRose, what's up? You guys, I want to share something with you. We're not going to be on here long today, but guess what? I was on time. I was on time. So check this out. They didn't have trial today, and so I was like, what's going on? I don't know. So I guess they're not going to have trial today, and then they're going to be out Saturday and Sunday, of course, and then Monday. Is it a holiday or something why they're not in court today? Because you know, I wake up and I'm like, where's it at? What's going on? Yeah, I didn't see nothing today. But excuse me, you guys. I'm trying to eat my lunch because guess what? It's 3 o'clock, and in 2 hours I'll be headed to work. Yeah. This is the sacrifices that we do. So I wanted to share something with you, especially Woke the God is in the building. And there's a reason why, some things I know people be like, did y'all hear? They are working on the sound system in the courtroom. Oh, is that the only reason? Libra 1010 is in the building, 1010. She said because they're working on the sound system. Okay. That's the only reason why they didn't, ain't nobody in court, because this is crazy. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? They supposed to have a speedy trial. But you guys, nevertheless, if you don't know what's going on, I'm just going to give you the little clip notes of the things I've seen that were very, very important. So the judge is allowing a lot of stuff in. But, she's not, hey, SP, Peach Town. All right. What's good? What's good with you? Peach Town in the building. So, check this out. I'm going to tell you the most important thing first. Anytime that we come on here, I'm going to go ahead and share that wow factor. So you ain't got to wait. You really don't got to wait. We're not messy like that. But, you guys, check this out. Listen, especially woke to God. Listen. When they arrested Shannon Stillwell, and if you don't know who Shannon Stillwell is, he's the guy that sits behind Young Thug in the trial, in the courtroom. He has his hair plaited with the little blonde tips on it. Everybody know who I'm talking about? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if you know who I'm talking about, because I got to share something with you that you guys did not know. Or you probably knew. No, you didn't know this. You didn't know this. I ain't heard nobody on YouTube talk about this right here. Nobody. But I caught it. So okay, come on. So I'm glad you're listening. They're going through emotions right now, right? And Stillwell attorney said when they arrested Shannon, he was in the middle of sacrificing a goat. I ain't gotta lie. He said he was in the middle of his religion sacrificing a goat. And I'm like, dang, what they into? Like, we don't do that sacrificing stuff no more. So, yeah, Beachtown said, whoa. That's what he said in the motion. And they don't want, they can't be putting out what his tradition is to his religion. But he was in the middle of sacrificing a goat. Peachtown said only warlocks and witches do that. Come on now. Huh? Sacrificing a goat. Libra said they were heavily talking about it in the beginning. Okay. Libra, I'm glad that you're in here because I did not know that. They were really talking about... sometimes we look and we speculate, thinking, or we assume that a person is like, oh, they're either non-religious, or they Catholic, or they Baptist, or they Protestant, or they Methodist, or whatever. But, I mean, in all of those religions I just said, it ain't got nothing to do with sacrificing a goat. Sacrificing anything that's living. We might drink some tea, we might drink some blood, we might drink some gin, not gin, I'm sorry. But, they're supposed to have, your little, your commencement, or not commencement, but, whatever. Peachtown said, oh yeah, in the secret society. Santiago? What do you mean Santiago? I don't know what Santiago means. They released pictures, probably can still see them on Twitter. Wow. She said, I think I misspelled that. Okay. We might drink some tea, not goats. Exactly. But, usually when they're sacrificing goats, just like, I think, let me see who said it. Peachtown said, usually that got to do with witchcraft. It just do. I don't know. Like, man, I mean, Santerra, I don't know what Santerra is. You're going to have to school me. And I'm almost done eating my lunch, you guys. You know what it was, some noodles. Noodles and hot links. I eat that stuff that they eat in prison. But I love it. Take me to prison, I eat good. I be like, if y'all gonna give me this free every day. Nah, I don't want to go to jail, prison though. But I sure would eat good. Some of y'all starved to death because y'all just too good. Y'all can't eat noodles. I can eat noodles every day. And like I said, I wouldn't have a complaint. Anyway, man, when they said that, I was kind of like, because, I came on here and I was like, out of all those young cats, and I look at them and I just say they're young cats, you guys, mean no harm or anything. I think Shannon is the most nice looking one out the whole bunch. And when he was younger, like, when he was in his early 20s, he was sure a good looking young man. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't really like Woody. Woody is kind of plain. But Woody do have some pretty brown eyes. He do. He got some pretty brown fire looking brown eyes. Beautiful. He's just not my cup of tea. I dated somebody like him before. And I'm going to just be honest with you. Woody's not ugly. Young Thug is nice looking. Young Thug is nice looking. He's just different. He's different, you guys. He's just different. He's just Young Thug. He's just different. Santeria is a religion, and I hope I'm saying it right. Santeria is a religion practiced by Africans and people in the Caribbean. It's like the Catholics meeting voodoo or hoodoo and intertwining their law is in California, I believe. Noodles and free in prison, y'all. Jail, it about $1 a pack. Oh, shoot. I love it. I love it. I love my noodles, I'll eat noodles before I eat a steak. I mean, like, I don't want to fight with my food. I love noodles. I've loved noodles my whole life, but they really just didn't come out until, what, the 90s? They wasn't around in the 80s, If they was around in the 80s, we didn't look at them like that. So, we was like, oh, them Asians be on them noodles, and we didn't know how far they was until we was like, we got to eat. Okay, so anyway, that is the number one thing that I brought from all of those motions that was filed. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I just couldn't wrap my head around that. She said, I love pasta or thin spaghetti with butter. Girl, I love you, Peach Town. Cause she said, you know what? I love my pasta too. That's what it is. I like pasta. And, and yeah, I throw my butter and my garlic powder on there. She said, yum, yum. Oh, yeah. Trust and believe when I eat my noodles. Hey, they say if you put more than 3 other ingredients in it, then you probably did time in prison. I'm like, no, that ain't true. Because I like it with a meat, like a ground beef. Or, I'll put... See, I don't eat shrimp. And I think it would be good with some shrimp. But, I'll have hot link. If I put a meat in there, that's what I would do. But I always have butter in my noodles and salt and pepper. Or some garlic pepper. I always put pecani sauce. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm a diehard. Okay? She said, I don't know anything about a lodge, but anywhere you find Africans, Cubans, or people from the Caribbean. Well, he's not Cuban or anything. He's not Cuban. I mean, I don't know if he's Cuban or not. I mean, he's a nice looking young fella. I don't think he's Cuban or anything. She said, I have to have butter. Yeah, I know. It ain't right unless it's got some butter on it. I can't believe it. Butter is good on it too, but the real butter is really great. It's African Catholic voodoo. Oh, really? Is that what it is? Don't you remember the story that I told you about going to spend the summer with my grandma and dad? No. No, I don't remember. I'm sorry. But when they said that, it put a whole different light on Shannon to me. Because you guys know that they're saying he was the one that shot Nut. Well, that when they were doing the drive-by, that Shannon was the one that... But you remember Woody was on the stand and Woody said Shannon was a pretty boy. And he is a pretty boy. He said Shannon was a pretty boy. A pretty boy. Okay, so they were listening to... Libra said, man, Woody killed Nut. Woody want people to think he killed Nut. I don't think Woody killed Nut. I don't know. You know, I was thinking that sometime Woody did, because Woody kind of froze like, y'all trying to trick me, da-da-da-da-da, you know? But I don't know. I think he probably was with him, but I don't know if he did it. I don't know. He was trying to kill Shell Kell for beating him. Yeah, Woody don't want people to know that Shell Kell hit him in the head. And they started jumping on him or something in the club. And then Woody ran out the club. But Woody didn't run out the club like I'm running out the club because I'm you know, like I'm running away. He went out the club to get something to fight them off or whatever. And then Woody gonna say, I pulled the gun on him, and I didn't. Who, you know, like, I don't know. I ain't never, you know, I just don't ever want to have to pull a gun on somebody. Now, I went for my gun twice. Once the gun wasn't there, and then the other time was I couldn't get to it. Thank God I didn't, because, you know, that's two people that's still alive. Because my mama and my daddy always told me, if you pull it, use it. Don't be pulling something to scare somebody. Use it. And I always remember, if I pull it out, I gotta use it. That's just in my thinking. So I don't ever want to pull a gun. Like I said, I went to go get my gun twice, and it just wasn't in my if it was probably in my purse or close by me, oh yeah, I would have did what I had to do. Because that's my thinking, is my parents always told me, don't pull it out to scare somebody. If you pull it out, you need to use it. It ain't a scare tactic. It is for survival. You feel me? So anyway, that was something that I was very curious about. I'm going to go back and try to listen to it again when they were talking about the motions, and Shannon's attorney was telling them that they don't want the state to be playing anything that has to do with his religion. And also, there's a part of Shannon's religion where when they go outside, they have to cover things up. They got to cover, you know, put a towel over stuff. Like it can't be in the sunlight or, you know, whatever. I don't know what all that's about. But, man, when I heard that, it shook my whole noggin. I couldn't even understand it. Because the man don't look like, you know, I mean, he don't look like he voodoo. Or, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it voodoo or anything. He's a nice looking young cat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't date him, but he's so nice to look at, you know, especially when he was younger. You know, he was a pretty boy. That for sure. He's very good looking young man. And even at an older man, he still looks decent and nice. The state's so dirty, watch it accidentally come out. Whoa, Libra, you know what? You must be running in my mind. You must be running in my mind, because I didn't even have to say that, and I thought to myself, oh yeah, Because the second thing I wanted to tell you guys what they talked about in the motion is that, because did y'all hear it for yourself? Because they started showing where this little kid, no older than maybe 2 or 3 years old, and they said the voice of Jeffrey Williams was teaching this child to do the Crip signs, and it was Killer Crip sign, blood Killer Crip sign, and you know that should not even be played. But they said it's already been played at once, but it really shouldn't. First of all, we it's not teaching a kid to become a gangbanger or whatever. But kids do funny stuff. They picked up stuff along the way. My grandson picks up stuff along the way. And once they have picked it up, you're going to hear it or you're going to see it again. My grandson will say some stupid stuff to us and we'll be looking at him like, where did you get it? I know where you got it. You got it from your mama or your daddy or something. And he think it was funny. He don't know what it means. He just don't. And, we laugh about it. And kids do that all the time. It doesn't mean, since we give him a knife and give him a doll and they play Operation Petticoat, whatever, Operation whatever, that the kid gonna grow up and be a doctor. No, it's not. Now, one thing about African American people, we be ourselves around our kids, so our kids are gonna pick up the things we say, the things we do. And my grandson to say something, he used to say something about, he would say something like a gang something, and I didn't know what he was talking about, but he would always say it, and he'll say something up and something down, and it was some kind of gang language, but he's that's just people talking. You know what I'm saying? Libra says I would be ticked off if showing my kid from 10 years ago being a kid. I'm pretty sure he different. Exactly. Well, I don't know about that, Libra. I ran into a interview of Young Thug talking about one of his kids. And I guess one of his kids is in the rapping business and he's doing very well. And Young Thug is his manager and, trying to help him go along. And he's saying that he's doing pretty well. Now, I'm not saying he's in gang and all this other stuff, But, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, I'm just going to say this. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to be in a gang. They're trying to make it as a dirty thing. It's gang got a bad reputation. I mean, there's a lot of groups and organizations, if you want to call them, they are gangs. That wasn't Thug Kid though. See what I'm saying? And whoever kid it was, he didn't teach the kid. You know what I'm saying? If the kid goes around going, Bloods up, Crip killers, whatever. I just sent you shit is religion. Oh, okay, let me see. What is his religion? Okay, come on, let's see. Somebody called. I don't know who called. Okay, I might get my thing down, my ringtone. In the Afro Asians religion of voodoo. Oh wow, hold on. Law are spirits that act as in intermediaries. I don't know what that word is. Intermediaries between humans. Okay. Intermediaries. That's what it's got to be. Intermediaries or something like that. But I know what it means. So they are spirits that act as intermediaries between humans and the divine, or Bandai. They are also known as mysteries and the invisibles low, are believed to be powerful protectors, healers, and messengers, and practice. I'm trying to read it. Hey, what's going on?
Yes, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, so I looked it up, and he practices a religion. He was actually making a sacrifice too low with the spirits we were just reading about. And you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, go ahead because I don't know nothing about all of this stuff.
In the Afro-Haitian religion of Voodoo, low are spirits that act as intermediaries between humans and the divine, or Bande. Bande is what they call the creator. They're also known as mysteries and invisibles. Low are believed to be powerful protectors, healers, and messengers. And practitioners believe that the spirits of the gods possess them when they pray. Each low has its own personality, attributes, and areas of influence. And they have their own likes and dislikes, songs, dances, ritual symbols, such as Vive, and special modes of service. Many low derive their identities in part from deities venerated in the traditional religions of West Africa, especially those from Bon and Yoruba. For example, St. John is supposedly disposed to a desire for alcohol and the meat of black cattle and white sheep. Thou has developed a rich ceremonial and ritual aspect in which the low are honored, summoned, and questioned. For example, Papa Legba is invoked at the beginning of every ceremony to facilitate the communion, speech, and understanding.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Are you familiar with Papa Legba and those spirits? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to go back down and...
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Did you hear them talk about Shannon's religion?
No, I read about it.
Oh, you
I
had.
read about it, and once I read about the sacrificing of the goat, then I just kept digging when you were just talking about it until I found out why he was sacrificing the goat, and he was sacrificing the goat for a sacrificial request to the Lord, and it doesn't say which one.
Oh, so what? Maybe he was for low, or it says here low are believed to be powerful protectors, healers, and messengers, and practitioners. Believe that the spirits of gods poses them when they pray. Possesses them when they pray.
Right.
That's crazy. I'm not calling somebody's religion crazy. I'm just saying, because every religion has some truth to it and everything. Some people don't realize that they just do, you know. But
That's why I told you the story when I was younger.
what's the story? That's what I wanted to know. What was the story?
So I was about 7, and my father was from Trinidad, and we went back to stay on my grandmother's compound for a summer. We thought it would be good for me to get to know my cousins more than just a week here and a week there, and my grandmother. So he took me over there. Well, in the midst of being there, I only stayed. Now, I was back for the summer, supposed to be gone for the summer, only stayed a week. So the first thing I seen was my grandmother stirring this pot over the fireplace.
Uh-huh.
Like you see them in the stories, like big black cast pots that be over the fireplace.
Yep.
One of those.
Uh-huh.
And I thought she was singing. I didn't know. I was a kid. I never been around, them longer than a week at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was singing or chanting, but at the time I thought she was singing, and I just couldn't understand it because it was French or Creole. And as she started singing, like it just started feeling funny in the room, like got real still, and it's like the air became magnetized, right? It felt funny, and the next thing I know, a bolt of lightning came through the back door and into that pot.
Shut up.
I'm telling you, I called my mama the next day, and I was like, I'm ready to come home. Now, before my mom could actually get me a trip home, because I had to have somebody to escort me, I just couldn't, I wasn't old enough to fly by myself, and back then they didn't play that. With, you had to have somebody with you, or you had to be 10 or 11.
Right.
So, before I was able to get back home, my dad, my uncle, and someone else, they had went out and had gambled, right?
Uh-huh.
That was a big thing on the island. They gamble and drink. Well, in this dice game, there was an argument, and my uncle got killed while I was there. And 7 brothers. And one of my uncles got killed. So, like, everybody's upset and they're crying like normal.
Uh-huh.
But then my dad and 2 of his other brothers helped my grandma out the house, and they went somewhere. And they were gone for like 3 hours. And when they came back, we had this thing in a little box. Now, I personally didn't see it, but my cousin said, "Oh, that's a monkey paw. A monkey's paw."
A monkey paw.
I'm thinking you done cut the arm or something off of a monkey. I didn't know. Because again, I'm not from around there. I didn't understand. But they said, watch, that monkey paw is going to get revenge for what the guy did to arm. And I said, well, what's the arm going to do without the rest of the monkey? Because again, I just imagine in my head that a monkey paw was somebody that cut the arm off before the monkey.
Right.
Whatever was in this box, they took it at exactly midnight. And they put it on this man's porch. The one that supposedly stabbed my uncle.
Uh-huh.
They didn't take him into custody because they said they were both fighting, and it could have happened in self-defense.
Okay.
So he was questioned and released.
Okay.
When they put this box on this man's front porch and left, they didn't have no face-to-face contact with him, anything. By the next day, that man killed himself.
Get out of here.
Uh-uh. And I was ready to go.
Well, wow. That is crazy.
I don't believe or honor, I don't honor that religion because I'm not, I didn't grow up in it. But I respect the power that I seen this incorporate. And like my oldest uncle explained to me, there are religions that were brought to this country by the people that they enslaved, that they were able to keep, they passed those traditions down.
Yeah.
Even if it was through the slaves on the plantation. And then, as they got free, they passed them on to their family.
Yeah.
And some families just continued to pass that down.
Right.
And he said, like in the Caribbean, the Caribbeans, those slaves were allowed to still practice their religion, and Christianity was not forced on them by their slave owners.
Yeah. Zan, a lot of places, especially here in the United States, like growing up, all I heard was Christianity. And until I got older, I realized something. And I'm not saying I'm against Christianity. I am a Christian, and I believe in everything that they taught me, because that's all I know more than anything else. But I do know that the things that these other religions come with, I find that there is some credibility to the things that they done, or they can do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away from them saying, "Oh, I don't believe that. That ain't true. That can happen." I've seen some stuff, so I'm not gonna say, "Oh, That's why I said, "Excuse me, forgive me for saying that's crazy," because I didn't mean it that way. Like it's just stupid. Like it can't be like that, because there's some stuff that goes on that is unexplainable in other people's religion that I've seen, and it works. I don't know why it works or how it works, but it does. Oh, she's off the phone, you guys. But let me see something, because somebody called. Oh man, I keep missing this girl's call. She keeps calling me and I keep missing her call. But you got to be very careful about, and especially in people's religion. You got to be very careful, because just when you're okay, woke to God, because just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it didn't happen, or like it has no all I know is God, and that he has a son. And as weird as it sounds, he rose on the third day, and so on and so forth. That's my religion. That's what I believe, and I do believe that it doesn't matter. But also, I'm not taking away from nobody else's belief, or what they believe or what they don't believe. I'm just not taking away from it. I'm just saying that's what I choose, because you have a choice. That's what I choose to believe and stand on for the rest of my life, no matter what, because that's how I was raised. And not only that, that's he showed me his hand, and I'm gonna stand on that. Now, it had not, he probably showed me his hand, and when you start researching other religions, you'll see some of their stuff to be also true also. It might be a facade or something, I don't know, but I just thank God that I don't have to go killing a goat, a chicken, a bird, or anything to get some kind of power or revenge or anything. But that's what they were saying in court. They try to say it really short and vague and just leave it there and go move to something else. But my eyes and my ears was open, and I was like, did they just say Shannon was in the middle of sacrificing a goat? And I'm thinking to myself, because we don't hear every day people doing that. But my first thought was, did this actually have something to do with being in the music industries? That was my first thought. Like, because if you notice, I seen that Young Thug has these pictures of him all in blood, or in, they say anytime when you take that still photo, bathing in blood, dripped in blood all over your face or whatever, you take that photo and you present it to the world, that's kind of the part of the Illuminati, letting everybody know that you're a part of it and everything, and then you'll start rising to the top. I don't know. I know one thing that I have seen time and time again, and now it's became so common that I see people doing it. I don't even think some of them know what they doing, but they put their thumbs together, and then they put their pointed fingers together, and they make this triangle with their hands while they're talking. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever spoke in front of people, you're very nervous. So in order to put your thumb together and your pointing fingers together and hold that position for a while, you're sending out a symbol to others to let them know that you're part of something, or you want to be recognized. And I mean, I see it especially when people are on those reality shows, Who Wants to Become Famous, or American Top Models and things of that nature. They always come out there when they start talking or something, they put their hands together and they hold it down like like, yeah, I'm a part of this, or I will be a part of it, or I want to be a part of it, or whatever. They get a little bit more favoritism when they do that. I've noticed that. I've noticed that a lot, especially when people are speaking. And I don't know if it's the Illuminati part. I don't know what it is. I guess if you do it, I'm not going to ever do it. I'm not going to ever do it because I know it's something that's showing or telling people, I'm a part of a group and you need to recognize this group, or recognize me, or give me favoritism because I am a part of this group. And that's how some people get picked for American Top Models and American Top whatever, singers, dancers, whatever. And they move on to the next level and all this other stuff. Now, they may not win everything, but I do know that it is recognized when they do it. I see it. You guys see it all the time too. But anyway, I was just amazed that they even brought that up in court. And the whole time that they were talking about it, Shannon, he kind of like slumped down in his chair. Like you couldn't really even see his face. He slumped down in the chair, put his head down. Like, I think he was almost embarrassed about it. I could be wrong. Or he, like his religion shouldn't be in the courtroom, and it really shouldn't. So they're taking all of that out. I'm just letting you guys know it was presented. They talked about it, and I was like, and I'm glad that they're not going to put that on the stand, because that would make some people feel some kind of way about him sacrificing a goat. We're in 2024. Who goes around, go get a goat and kill the goat to sacrifice the what? You sacrifice the goat, you get the blood. You're doing something. But I'm just saying, I'm just so glad that I'm in the religion that I speak on. I don't have to go killing goats and stuff like that. I thank God that, Lord, I couldn't kill a goat, a chicken. If I killed a chicken, I would never eat chicken again. Because the chicken is running around and you chasing the chicken, and the chicken are rah, 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 rah. And then you chase the chicken, and then the next day, then, Papa brings some chicken home. I'm not going to want chicken. I'm telling you right now, I don't want no more chicken. Because especially if it's a pet chicken and you kill Petey the pet chicken. And no, I would never eat chicken. I really don't like chicken too much. He loves chicken. I mean, I can eat it, but it's all good. We had chicken the other night, but I don't crave chicken. But anyway, you guys, I'm just telling you what was in the trial. It may be meaningless to other people, but we look at little detailed things so that when things happen, we can kind of, correlate the things that take place and, try to figure it out. And like I said, the other thing that they showed was a kid making these gang signs, and the kid was like 2 or 3 years old. She says there are quite a few things that we have been taught by our grandparents and great-grandparents, etc., that we just thought was the way old people did things. That is considered hoodoo. Not voodoo, but hoodoo. Right. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, even if they're just things that, like, some people like, don't walk underneath the ladder. Don't let a black cat cross your path. Don't break a mirror. If you drop salt, pick some up and throw it over your shoulders. And I mean, all kinds of stuff, and don't let anybody in your hair. And then there's things that they tell you that can make your hair fall out. Like, if you know, I'm not gonna say them, because when I say stuff, and I'm not saying I'm an influencer, but people will try what I say. So to give them examples, I know that these things do sometimes work. I'm telling you. You know, like how to keep a man. If you don't want that man to leave you, you know, there's certain things you can do. People be like, tell me, tell me, tell me. No, you go to somebody else and get it. I'm not gonna tell you. I've done stuff like that before when I was younger. And this person didn't know why they were still hanging around. Like, I mean, we fought like cats and dogs. And I knew why. I never said it. And it you know what? I mean, it was a love-hate situation. But I tell you, you don't want to play with that stuff, because at the end of the day, and anybody will probably tell you that ever tried it or done it, it normally backfires. And when I say backfires, not saying that it didn't work or it worked opposite, but just say, for instance, you're really done with this person. Now you done did something to make this person won't leave you alone. They don't know why they won't leave you alone, and they steady trying to have a relations with you and won't leave you alone. They stalking you, and y'all fighting like cats and dogs, and they really want to move over. You have no rights to take somebody else's choice. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a love-hate relationship. You really want to get away from the person, but you don't even know how to get away from the person. I mean, and now the person is caught up in something that they don't know why they like you or want to be with you or something. It has no foundation of the good God that we serve. You know what I'm saying? Now, keep in mind, what I believe may not be what everybody else believes. Because people, my religion, my Christianity teaches me there's only one God. But I don't believe that's true. And the reason why I say I don't believe that's true, because the Bible talks about other gods also. But there's only one true God. I believe that there is only one true God. I do believe that. But there's little bitty gods, or things that call themselves gods, or things that has, I know, a little G, not a big G. And some of their teachings and stuff seems to work for those people that believe in that. And I'm not saying it just works for those people that believe in that. Like I said, I've seen it for myself. That don't mean I believe in it. It's just, I'm like, dang, I'm looking at stuff, because people can teach you stuff, and because they always want to show their God works or something. And I mean, I literally talked to a witch. She told me she was a witch. She was like, I'm a good witch. She had a little bitty arm too. I mean, she did. She had a little bitty arm and everything. And we was sitting up in a plane. This was when I was working at Raytheon. And she was like, I'm a good witch and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah. You know, and I was like, you got a broom and all this other stuff. Because stupid as I was, you know, she was like, yeah, I do got a broom, but it ain't like what you think and stuff. And then, so they was like, oh, so you like this person? Because it was like, well, why you by yourself or whatever? I just got out of a relationship or whatever. And I was like, because I am. And then I was like, I like this one person. They work here or whatever. And they was like, oh. I was like, but they gone. Because they got their papers to go. They went to war in with the war we have. Oh Lord, we had a war back in 1990. Can't remember what the war was called. It was something. I can't remember what the war was. It was some kind of operation. It wasn't Gulf War. I can't remember now. I'm trying to even remember what the war was called, and I can't, because a lot of people got drafted when they was in the National Guards or whatever. But I can't remember what it was called. Anywho, this person got drafted or whatever, and I was getting hired at another aircraft company. And I was like, yeah, I was like, that person been gone for 4 or 5 months. They didn't even know that, I had eyes on them. I thought they was cute or whatever. And so she was like, the young lady, and funny thing, her name was Heidi. That was her name. I kid y'all not. I can, anytime you come back and I'll repeat what I said. Her name was Heidi. So Heidi was like, well, you want to see the person, you want to talk to the person again or whatever. I was like, that person gone. They ain't gonna come back. When they come back, I'll be gone. I'll be at the other place working, and all this other stuff. And so she told me to go home, do this, do this, do this, do this. It was like 3-4 things she wanted me to do. And shoot, I didn't know God the way I know God now. So of course I went home, did the 3-4 things she told me to do. And I kid you not, I got done doing those 3 things she told me to do, and my phone rung. And I was like, hello? And they was like, this is such and such. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, hold on. How in the world did this person not only call me because they're out of the country, but get my number? They been gone for 3-4 months. Ain't looked at me in no kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. Didn't even know really I exist. We'd be like, hey, hi. That's it. But they called. But the person called me, and I was like, hello, and they was like, hey, how you doing? You know who this is? And I was like, no. They was like, this is such and such, and I was like, I got quiet. I'm thinking to myself, ain't no freaking way. Ain't no way. And the whole time they talking, I'm thinking, Heidi. Heidi told me to do that, this, and this, and I did it. And now this person is way over in Afghanistan or something, whatever. I can't remember the war, but and they calling. Didn't get my number before you left, so I don't know how you called me. Called my phone. And that's when we had house phones. We didn't have cell phones. But anyway, and so then I gave my 2 weeks notice to the job. And so I didn't say nothing to nobody. I kind of was like, oh. But I went back to work, and I told Heidi, I was like, I can't believe that person called me. She was like, yeah, I told you. You can connect and da-da-da-da-da. So I didn't say nothing. So that night, I thought to myself, I was like, man, I really wish that person was here. Because they were throwing me a going away party, because we were celebrating. I had got the job I really wanted at Boeing or whatever. And I was like leaving a family that I really enjoyed working where I was working. But this was for more money, and it's the better job. It's like 10 toes down. It's just a better job. But so I went home, and I thought to myself, well, let me do what Heidi told me to do again, because this time when I do it, I ain't gonna tell nobody I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. So I got to really thinking about what I wanted, and I thought, well, I wish that this person, the same person, I wish this person can be at my going away party, right? So then, in 2 weeks, and so when my going away party was coming up, like I said, I did the same thing Heidi told me to do the first time when I got the phone call. Anywho's, now, if you know anybody that goes over there in the war and they come back in the United States, right? Even if they come back in the United States, they have 30 days of deactivation or whatever you want to call it. Like, you don't get to come home and be out in the public and can go cross the street or something. They have to literally spray you with stuff, make sure you didn't bring anything in. You got 30 days of it's like deactivating you. I don't know, but I mean, you can't leave the place. You can't leave. You can't. I can't remember what it's called. You can't leave the fort, or whatever they want to call it, or whatever. But 30 days, you just can't. You can't go see your mama. You can't see your daddy. You can't go to a funeral or none of that. Decompression. She said maybe it's decompression. I don't know. Somebody look it up and see. Jay said it's decompression. Somebody look it up and see what it's called. But yeah, they can't even leave the fort, the site, or whatever, when they come back into town or whatever. So this person called me, and this person was like, hey, I'm in town. And I was like, you are? They was like, yeah. And I was like, well, they're giving me a going away party, and I wish you could come. And he was like, well, when is it? And I told him. He was like, I can't be there because 30 days. We can't leave the site or something for 30 days, no matter what. And I was like, oh, okay, And he was like, I wish the best for you, woo, 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 and all this other stuff. So the day of my party, I went, because we were having it at this little bar or something. I walked in and everything, and we was all, they had cake and they had prizes for me, little prizes, little gifts or whatever. I was all happy about it because, like I said, I felt like this was a family, and I just really, only reason why I left the job is for more money. I wouldn't have never left that job. I would have stayed there because I like getting paid every week. It was an easy job, clock in, clock out. Get your money. That's it. Now I'm going to the big dogs, But anyway, and they was like, close your eyes, and I closed my eyes. And they was like, we got a surprise for you. So I closed my eyes, and then after that, they were giggling and laughing and stuff. They were like, don't open your eyes, and I didn't. They had their hands over my eyes, and then when they uncovered my eyes, he was standing right there in front of me, and I was shocked. Like, what the heck is going on here? Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I didn't even want to touch the person. I mean, I didn't want to I didn't want to share with anybody like this can't be real, because Desert Storm, that was the war that we were fighting at the time. Desert Storm, if you look it up, you'll see that it was in the 1990s, Desert Storm, somewhere in the 1990s, Desert Storm, because my daughter she was born in 90, and my son was born in 92, so it'd be between 1990 and 91, Desert Storm. Y'all go look it up. I'm telling y'all, I don't have to lie. Okay. Desert Storm War, when? When did Desert Storm War start? See? Check it out. August the 2nd, 1990, and it went to February the 28th of 1991. I told you, because my daughter was already born. I already had one child. I didn't have the second child. My second child was when I worked at the other place. So I could always figure out the timing of stuff because of what was happening at the time that it happened. So you guys know I ain't lying. So anyway, after that, like I said, I was a little bit scared that that person was right there in front of me. We talked, we chit-chatted and all this other stuff. He was like, I want to take you out. I got to go finish doing my whatever it is, my 30 days or something. But after the 30 days, can we go out? I was like, yeah. We went out. We went out one time, and I didn't want to go out with him no more after that. I was done. She said, I know someone who was deployed in there. Yeah. I didn't want to go out with him after that because I felt like, first of all, I don't know how he come into my life, but it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I heard that, I don't want to mess around with somebody's choices or whatever. And I believe that it has something to do with what Heidi taught me that he was now around. Actually, the funny thing about that was I seen that person maybe not too long ago, and I didn't even know who he was. He came up to me and he was like, ain't your name such and such? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you don't remember me? And I was like, nope. And then he told me his name, and I just looked at him and I just was like, I don't remember you. And then he was like, my name is such and such, you don't remember me? And he had his woman with him. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember you now. But I bet you ain't telling this woman how we knew each other. I was like, oh, we worked together. Yeah, I remember you, yeah. Yeah. She said a co-worker was deployed to Desert Storm. Yeah, that's what it was called. It was Desert Storm. She told me various drama stories. Yeah. Anyway, like I was telling you, if that had never happened, when people tell me about their religion or their belief or something, I would be really like, get out of here. I don't want to hear about that. Like, be telling me some stupid stuff or whatever. But like I said, when that woman, Heidi, told me to do this and do this and do this, and I did it, all that happened, ain't no way in the world that could have happened or should have happened. It shouldn't have. Like I said, he didn't know my phone number. He didn't know where I lived. We never spoke on like I like him, he like me, or anything like that, The heck? No. And the funny thing about it was, like, yeah, I had just got out of a bad relationship. Remember when I told you guys I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, my first child, and then I left town. I took a leave of absence from that job, went to Denver, stayed in Denver for a little while, came back, had the child, and went back to that same job. That job was very good to me. That's when all that stuff happened. And like I said, I wasn't into church then and anything of that nature. My other phone is ringing. Hold on. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to share that with you. So I was just really, just when they spoke on Shannon and said Shannon had that goat and was in the middle of sacrificing the goat, it just was very alarming to me. But anyway, I'm gonna keep on looking to see what else is going on. You guys, I'm very interested in this case. I don't know why, but I'm learning a lot. Hopefully you guys are learning a lot, and then we can get back into some other cases and what's going on. But you guys, that's that's going on with me in my neck of the woods. You guys, I'm gonna get off of here and start getting ready for work. I will see you guys Monday. All right, be good, be great, and be nice to each other. Bye.